PNC Park. The Pittsburgh Pirates welcome in the reigning National League champion St. Louis Cardinals. The start of a 3-game series as the Pirates continue their 9-game homestand. Both clubs playing pretty good ball. The Cardinals have won 2 of their last 3. The Pirates have won 4 of their last 6. And boy, they've been evenly matched this year. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass. So Steve, here we are again, rematch of course of the National League Division Series. Pirates took the Cardinals to 5 games. Now these two clubs have split the season series. I guess we can expect the same thing.
Yeah, it should be a very interesting weekend when you take a look at what has happened since 2011. Really even up and down the board until you get to home runs. We've got a few more home runs. They've got a few more stolen bases. So there's no reason to expect anything's going to be given. You would not expect a series sweep, would you, based on those numbers?
You wouldn't think so. The Pirates took 2 of 3 from the Cardinals, first homestand of the season, and a couple of weeks ago, the Cardinals took 2 of 3 at Busch Stadium, so we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Steve, we're still waiting for Francisco Liriano to pick up that first W.
Yeah, and he struggled last time out against the Blue Jays. But you take a look at the other categories versus the Cardinals, 3-1, and at this ballpark he has been outstanding. So what do they say? 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
See if Francisco Liriano can get to 1-3 as he takes on the St. Louis Cardinals tonight in the first of a 3-game series. Michael Wacha is on the hill for the Redbirds. Yep, the Pirates and the Redbirds. The rivalry continues from Pittsburgh, PNC Park. Coming up next. Ready for baseball here at PNC Park. Russell Martin T-shirts given away on a free shirt Friday, thanks to the folks at Milan. Pretty cool T-shirts, though Russell Martin found out today that he lost his appeal, and once he comes off the disabled list, he will be suspended for a game. Travis Snyder will be suspended 2 games for his participation in that brawl a couple of weeks ago against the Milwaukee Brewers. He begins serving that suspension tonight. The Pirates have added Brent Morel from AAA Indianapolis. And a shame, Steve, that Andrew Lambeau got hurt 2 days ago, because little doubt Lambeau would have an opportunity right now, but he is on the disabled list because he hurt his thumb the other night. So Brent Morel, who didn't have very good numbers at AAA Indianapolis, he'll be here for at least a few games.
For insurance, you got to feel it's been an interesting 10 days or so, because you thought you were going to need all kind of bullpen help because you got beat up in a long game with your bullpen, and then you come up, so you make a move there. So you get 2 gems from Morton and Garrett Cole. So now we go back the other way. So it's been the ebb and flow of a period of time, not just the entire baseball season. And these things happen. You know, you can't write the script that it's going to be all right personnel-wise throughout the 6-month period.
Because of some an off day coming up on Monday, the Pirates can go ahead and go with one less starting pitcher. Have to figure that Wandy Rodriguez will rejoin the team at some point, maybe next week. So Francisco Liriano takes the hill and looking for that first win. Steve, I heard Ray Searage talking about Liriano's last bullpen. Now, Ray gushes all the time anyway. Yep. He's always optimistic, but he was super optimistic about this last bullpen session because Liriano has still, even if it's in the back of his mind, had that slight little groin injury that affected him at the end of spring training. Almost got to the point where he would make that opening day start, but he went ahead, made the start, and you know that can hover over you.
Well, I think it's in your mind as much as physically. You wonder, okay, is it going to go now? Can I just trust it? Instead of thinking about what you're going to try to deliver. So you take a look at the chart for Francisco for the early part of this season. I think he's been okay. He didn't pitch particularly well against the Toronto Blue Jays last time out. And, we actually, to be quite honest, got a little spoiled with Francisco. We expect him to be good all the time, and we want him to be good certainly tonight. I've got a funny philosophy about the first game of a series against a real good ball club that's in your division. I want to get that first win. Just to get any thoughts of getting yourself beat up for the entire weekend. You get this win, you have a good feel going for the rest of the series. So he's pitched well against the Cardinals. He's pitched well in this ballpark, and they're not hitting. I like that mix.
Check out that lineup. Mike Matheny's Cardinals come to town with a record of 18-17. The lineup is brought to you by Honda. Matt Carpenter, really one of the more underrated players in all of baseball, will be followed by Johnny Peralta and Matt Holliday, with Matt Adams hitting cleanup. Yadier Molina, 12 multi-hit games this season, hitting over 300. Alan Craig has been struggling. He'll be followed by Peter Borges, Mark Ellis, a couple weeks off the DL, and Michael Waka. Mike Matheny, in his third year as Cardinals skipper, took the 2013 Redbirds to the World Series.
And make no doubt about it, the Cardinals are where they are right now, 18-17, because of their pitching. It has been a struggling St. Louis Cardinals offense so far this season, but the pitching, that starting rotation, is still very strong.
First pitch strike to Matt Carpenter, hitting .288 for the season. A homer and 13 runs batted in. He's up there in on-base percentage again, and runs scored. And lines this ball into the left center field gap. Matt Carpenter thinking two. Here comes the throw, and he's going to be safe. Don't know if there was a lot of urgency out there. Couldn't tell whether, but that'll set the tone for the series.
Yeah, they're not the running
doubles.
They're not the running Redbirds in terms of stealing bases, but they can still fly around. And I was watching the runner more than Andrew as he went over to cut this ball off. And I'll tell you one thing, Carpenter was going and thinking two until he was going to be forced to shut it down after a big turn, but he saw the opportunity. Didn't get in there by much, but he got in there.
So 2 pitches into the game, Carpenter's at second, and now here's Johnny Peralta. And Tony Sanchez blocks it. Carpenter thought about moving 90 feet and then hit the brakes. A gamble by Carpenter. It pays off.
Expression on Neal's face, thinks he might be able to get a call, but you see the hand coming in, flaps down, and you see the tag up further on the body, similar to that tag play we got from Buster Posey the other night. So The tag not out in front on the hand, but up on the body, and the hand's in underneath.
Hard to believe that is Carpenter's 6th double. That's 3rd on his team behind Matt Adams and Matt Holliday. Carpenter set a Cardinal record last year, collecting 55 doubles. And now Liriano has fallen behind Peralta. 3 balls and no strikes. Peralta with a 6-game hitting streak. 3 of his 7 home runs have come against the Pirates this season. And the strike is called on Johnny Peralta. Francisco Liriano, a no decision October 6th here at PNC Park. That was game 3. The Pirates won it late. He left trailing 3-2. He had given up just 2 runs in 6 innings. A 5th inning 2-run single by Carlos Beltran. And not afraid to go off speed behind in the count, 3-1.
Yep, Peralta deserves that kind of respect. He's that good a hitter. You got an open base, and well delivered by Francisco.
Full count. Pop them up toward right field. Tabata to make the catch. Carpenter will tag, but he won't move. As Tabata gets rid of the ball quickly. A big out there early on for Liriano. We check out the rest of the Pirates defense. Jose Tabata in right with Andrew McCutchen in center and Starling Marte in left. On the infield, up the middle, it's Jordy Mercer and Neil Walker. On the corners, Ike Davis and Pedro Alvarez, and Tony Sanchez catches Francisco Liriano.
You're exactly right. That is a big out coming back from the 3-0 count. Get that first out established. As you take a look at Liriano's battery mate.
Tony Sanchez, the bulk of his starts last year came with Liriano on the hill. So he's used to catching this veteran lefty in his 2nd year with the Pirates. And ball 1 on Matt Holliday.
Never a bad thing for a young catcher to have a veteran pitcher on the mound to kind of work with him, nurse him along, if you will.
Holliday hitting .285, .444 with runners in scoring position. That was the big theme of the Cardinals last year. How well they hit in these situations. They've gotten off to a slow start this year, but not Holliday. He's 2nd in the league with runners at 2nd and or 3rd base. 1 ball and 1 strike on Holliday. Matt Adams on deck.
When you look at Matt Holliday, you never lose the effect of intensity.
Two and one. Eight hits and 22 at bats this season against Pirates pitching. That's a .364 average with this 34-year-old veteran. And now 3 balls and a strike. Take a look at the breeze, Steve.
Yep, you're going to have a little help out toward left field, going kind of quartering across the field, but helping from right center all the way around to the left field foul pole. You see more evidence heading upriver.
3-1.
Wanted inside, tie him up.
Lost him. 94. But high. Well, it's 1st and 2nd. And we check out the umpiring crew behind home plate. It's Jim Wolf. David Rackley is at 1st base. 2nd base umpire is Bill Welke. And the crew chief at 3rd base is Brian Gorman.
The son of one of the all-time great umpires, Tom Gorman. Worked the National League for a long time.
1955 through 1977, Brian's dad, Tom, and was the crew chief in that 1971 National League Championship Series between the Pirates and the Giants. Steve remembers that one.
Do I ever? Like to forget some of it.
Matt Adams takes a strike. Matt Adams, you know, if you had checked out this roster and said on May the 9th, of all these players, who would be in the top 10? Now, you might think Molina or Holiday or even Peralta or Carpenter, but Matt Adams hitting .321, tied for 9th in the league. Liriano out in front 0-2.
That's got to be a big thing for the Cardinals, because you don't always combine good batting averages with a guy with a lot of power. He certainly has a lot of power. Sometimes you get one or the other. You can get both. A lot of consistent contact.
This is interesting too, Steve, because Adams is hitting .362 against righties, just a .154 against lefties, but lefties are hitting .300 against Liriano. There's a ground ball that could be 2. There's 4. A little hesitation, but Walker is going to make the play. He wasn't sure, then decided to go ahead, step on the bag, and throws out Matt Adams for an inning-ending double play. Pirates coming to bat. Be followed by Neil Walker, and then it's Andrew McCutchen and Pedro Alvarez, who has 45 career RBIs against the Cardinals. That's the most against any opponent for Alvarez. Starling Marte next, then Ike Davis, Tony Sanchez, Jordy Mercer, and Francisco Liriano.
Against Michael Walker, we know him well. Very little work against the Pirates in the regular season, but he was a dazzler in, what is it, Game 4 of that playoff. And he has been pitching extremely well with not too much to show for it. Not a lot of offensive support for Michael Walker. He's got a .255 ERA. He's striking well over a batter per inning. He's still pitching very well.
Defense behind him. Peter Borges can fly. He's in center. Alan Craig in right. Matt Holliday in left. Matt Carpenter, Johnny Peralta on the left side of the infield. Mark Ellis, Matt Adams on the right side. And Gold Glover Yadier Molina behind the plate for Michael Walker. Jose Tabata takes a strike. Michael Walker. The Pirates had won the day before a Sunday game, October the 6th, to take a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 National League Division Series. That game that Liriano started. The Pirates won that game late, thanks in large part to Pedro Alvarez RBI single and a Russell Martin RBI base hit. And so there was a lot of anticipation that the Pirates could take the series in Game 4, but when Michael Walker shut them down, he no-hit the Pirates through 7 1/3 innings, had a 2-0 lead. Pedro Alvarez homered to break up the no-hit bid and shutout bid to make it 2-1, and that would stand. A final of 2-1. Michael Walker, 7 1/3 innings. A couple of walks. He struck out 9. And right off of Walker, a bullet by Tabata.
They'll be out to take a look. That was a pretty direct hit, and it bounces straight back.
Tabata rifles one right off of the pitcher, Michael Walker. Mike Matheny.
If it doesn't hurt now, it'll hurt a lot tomorrow. right off the side of the shin. Maybe got part of the calf muscle. Pretty good shot, and they'll let him throw a couple pitches. These kind of situations, sometimes a couple pitches are adrenaline driven. You really don't know if you're really hurting, but seems to be all right. And he convinces Mike Matheny and the trainer. On we go. Michael Walker, 6'6", 210 pounds, out of Iowa City, Iowa, 22 years old. First rounder 4 years ago, 19th player taken overall, and he has been everything that the Cardinals thought he was and hope to have him be.
Out of Texas A&M, 19th choice overall just 2 years ago. Now Neil Walker, and look out! Almost picked him off. In fact, had the throw been on the bag, Tabata probably is out. Looked as though, from our vantage point, that Adams had to reach up a bit to try and apply the tag then. Yep. Boy, if that's on the bag, he's out.
Don't want that. Some early action.
Well, good to get the no-hitter out of the way, though, isn't it? The no-hitter.
That is. We're on the other side of that. Well, we've got to avert the shutout and win the ball game.
A dazzling performance, though, here at PNC Park by Michael Wacha on Monday, the 7th of October. This ball into the left center field gap. But Tabata will head to third.
Well, you get the good ones early. Wacha, even though he's just 22 years old, is one of the good ones. So Pirates early action. The hot bat of Neil Walker continues, and we got another hot bat coming up as Neil kind of bites it off and kind of inside outs that ball. Kind of in the middle, but pushes it out to left center field, and here we go.
There's your Tabata knows right away he's going to be at third at least.
Everything right in front of him. Neil Walker has been hot, and he continues.
Andrew McCutchen, the big swing and a miss. McCutchen tied for 9th in the league in hitting with Matt Adams. He's second in the National League in on-base percentage. First 8 games this month, he's batting .424 with 6 ribbies in his last 7 games. And remember, when McCutchen came to the plate in that game that Wacha pitched, eventually Matheny went to the bullpen. Trevor Rosenthal came on to preserve a 2-1 lead. He got the first 2 outs. Neil Walker walked in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs, and Andrew McCutchen popped up, just missed a ball. McCutchen talked about that later, how close he came to barreling that one up. How's this one off his foot?
We're even now. Their guy takes one off the leg, and so does our guy. The shin protector not covering the top of the foot.
Infield looks for 2. Wow, struck him out looking.
Turned the ball over. It looked like maybe a little tail in that sinking fastball. Maybe not the fastball. Maybe a little changeup that he turned over. You see a little tail on that?
Boy, you see
they get a call.
Yeah, this kind of bothered some people last year. Wacha just trying to establish himself as a big league pitcher, and here's the MVP of the National League. Steve, all things being equal, there was a time when a veteran...
You didn't get that call.
Yeah, the veteran got the call.
Yeah.
This time the pitcher, Wacha, gets that call.
And it might have been helped by a little bit by Molina. He's a veteran. That ball was kind of tailing in, so he brings it in, and the glove kind of flows along with it to follow the trail of the baseball. And sometimes that can buy you a call. Last year, you talked to the Cardinal people. Michael Walker was primarily a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball and changeup, but he has worked on a curveball, a little bit of a cutter, and sometimes you wonder if you get away from a strong pitch by adding a lot, but you've got a lot to look for from Walker these days. My belief is the more, if you have a good live arm, the more different types of pitches you can show somebody, the better off you're going to be. Especially if you have good control, and he has good control. 7 starts, and he's walked 13 batters. That's above average control.
No doubt he recalls the home run Alvarez hit off of him in that NLDS Game 4.
Now, early on, if you're trying to get to the good guys early, do you give them a green light here?
Sure. Lays off a breaking ball. That loads them up. He was pitching very carefully to Alvarez there. And it brings up Starling Marte.
Well, our guy Liriano got out of a little mini jam in the top of the first, and now Walker is going to try to do the same thing. He's a little deeper.
Starling Marte has done good work against the Cardinals here at PNC Park. Checks and takes, ball 1. Last 8 games, Marte hitting at a .382 clip.